All right, I think we're live. I think it's working.
Hmm.
I think the things are feeding the feeds through and the stuff with the things.
Stuffer.
What's
Stuffer
happening,
things.
Feast friends? Welcome to another live. I think we have some people already waiting in here. I see some comments coming in. As always, let me know in the comments. Make sure the audio is working. I tried to get my Bluetooth up and going, but I couldn't get it figured out. Apparently, I'm a dummy when it comes to Bluetooth stuff. So, Arthur, I don't know if you're in here yet or not, but I did get your adapter. So it looks like we got some people waiting. I see some comments coming in saying, "Hey, Debo, hello guys, hi. Did it start?" That's not a good sign. Hopefully, you're just behind. Yes, it did start.
Yeah, it was totally the clocks were set at different times.
Shout out Debo. Awesome, Tucson. There's Arthur. Arthur, I got your stuff. Thank you so much, brother. You did not need to send a Bluetooth adapter for me. I plugged it in and I could not get the audio to work on my little JBL Bluetooth things. These things are freaking awesome. Amazing, love them, great sound. Couldn't get the output to go to those, so
You
maybe I'm just an idiot.
I know on mine there's a little button, a pairing button on the back. You did the pairing process, the whole nine, to try to pair to the little thing you plugged in.
I mean, it recognized it. I clicked it in and it said it recognized my JBL headphones, but I couldn't switch audio to it. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to mess with it, but we're going. It's okay. We got Randis and I. We might have somebody else joining us here in a little bit. I need to get some. I saw Fishing with Gramps is in here. Arthur Fish Daddy, Chris Russ, Eliza, all kinds of people in here. Appreciate y'all jumping on so early. Trevor Wagner, Carol Ferg, Mr. Rob Harrison, Scott Vermonter, all kinds of members. Paul.
Lots of people.
Yeah, I love it. So Gramps, what I was just going to ask Gramps something, damn it. Oh, Gramps. So Gramps has a cool thing of like inviting. He said he wants to get more smaller YouTube channels to join and do lives and stuff. I want to do that too. So if there's anybody that has a smaller channel that y'all think are really good that haven't gotten the exposure in such, let me know, because I am horrible at watching YouTube anymore. I'll hop on lives and stuff here and there, but I literally don't watch YouTube much, and it makes me mad because I wish I could, but free time is at a minimum. So let me know if there's ever like a smaller channel you want me to get on. Let me know. What's up, Dizzle? What do you got?
Yeah, I was going to say, Chris. No, Chris Russ, I did not steal his hat from Debo. When Retro was on the same time that I was on, how many episodes, maybe a month or so back, I saw that hat and I was like, Debo, if you're making an order for anything, get me one of those hats, because this thing is awesome.
Yeah, it's sick. I bought an all black one, then I bought that one for Randizzle. Then when Retro was on, he's like, I'm sending you a surprise box. He actually had another like red and white one in mind. So I've got a couple, but I'm keeping both of those because his logo is literally one of the coolest logos. And his song, if you haven't gone out and listened to his theme song, dude killed the theme song. That was his buddy that made it, but it's like Retro Bassin kicking some arson, wearing a rayon jacket. It's awesome. My buddy Philip Cheek was like, dude, you got to listen to his intro. That's been a long time.
It's pretty
ago,
funny.
and yeah, he's a good cat. So, okay. So what are we doing tonight? Tonight we've got beginner bass fishing baits. So this was hold on. I want to give props where it's due. Randall, if you see any fun comments or anybody to shout out, grab it, because I want to make sure I get this picture. Because I don't know if this gentleman is in here or not. It was. Here we go. More Epic Randomness. So More Epic Randomness commented a while back. Is it going to focus? But he was on a live a few lives ago and said, can you do a live sometime soon for top baits for beginners? So hell yeah, we can do a top baits for beginners. So of course, everybody join in. I've got a giveaway. I put in an order. I kept bugging Monster Bass a ton. We're going to work on some stuff this year together, but I had to push them. I don't know how long to get a cool hat. Basically like 6 months. And they sent me a free sweatshirt too.
That's pretty dope.
I didn't know I'm a fatty, and this is a large, and I felt like I was going to completely rip the back out of this when I put it on, and the sleeves came to like here on it. I'm definitely an extra large, so I'm going to give away this sweatshirt. They were nice enough to send me a large sweatshirt. It's a pretty sweet sweatshirt, but too tubby for it. So large sweatshirt I'm going to give away. Maybe since we're talking about beginner bass fishing lures, this is going to have to go in a little box anyway. Maybe I will throw in some beginner bass fishing lures tonight. And I'm in a good mood. Randall, I'm in a good mood. It's been a good day. Did a little bit of filming. Did a little bit of napping. Yeah, I'm in a great mood. How about you?
Not bad. Not bad. You know, I made a slight little purchase today that I was pretty frustrated with, and I'm still kind of frustrated with because I have this Ghetto Fab cell phone stand going on right now.
It looks perfect.
I actually went out and purchased a gimbal because I think it was just like one of the things that I felt like I needed a second type of camera to get additional stuff in, you know? So I went out and got a super cheap, super good deal. So it wasn't anything crazy. So first of all, when I ordered it, I was talking to the helpful associate online with Best Buy, and they're like, here's a link. And they sent me a link to my phone number because I gave them the whole nine, you know, I trusted it, whatever. And it went to a location in Minnesota. I was like, hey, well, hold on, pump the brakes. I'm not in Minnesota. I'm actually in Nebraska right now. They're like, okay, let me send you a new link. New link goes in. I go in. I actually buy it online because they have it in both locations. And I go to look at the receipt, and it's like, your order's ready to pick up in Minnesota. And I was like, awesome.
I'm not there. So they get it to you?
Yeah, so luckily they still had the other one here in Nebraska, and so I go over there and pick it up, but I hadn't gotten an email about it. And I go to the customer service counter, and the guy is less than thrilled to be an employee at that establishment and was not very helpful whatsoever. And he said, you got to go somewhere else. And calmly, I walked over to the other place, and they had it there waiting for me. But it's like, you got to tighten down this screw and release the motor and do this and do that. And it's just like, okay.
Yeah, it's a gimbal.
I need to watch it because I'm trying to watch it on my phone and set it up as my phone is in the gimbal docking area at the same time. Yeah, or a TV at the same time. But either way, trying to get that set up, and I'm like, I'm anxious. I'm excited.
I don't feel so bad that I couldn't get my Bluetooth hooked up.
I was just gonna say. Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, granted, Bluetooth is much simpler, but still.
I'm not technologically advanced. So Tad Bennett, new member. Tad, thanks for joining. Any of the members, listen, I need to do a beginner stream, so we're going to go off on my first tangent. Any members that we have in here, and even if you're not a member, that's fine. You can comment, but you won't get to watch it if you're not a member. But any of the memberships, go to me, go back to my channel. A little bit of money comes to me to help do improvements, to do anything I can. The biggest thing I want to do with the members is have a smaller group of people. I want to have some of those members on the lives with me, kind of like if you watch the Burley folks. But members, let me know what you want the first member live to be. Do you want it to be like more of a show and tell thing? Like, here's some gear, here's rigging. I mean, we've got all kinds of endless options we can do. I can maybe even figure out a different way. I could take my, like my cell phone to do it. We could set up somewhere different. So members, let me know what you want to see. We can get a member live going. I would like to do one this month, because I know I started members, I think, in beginning of January. So I kind of screwed you all on a January video. But let me know, members. We will do a member live only this month, and it will not replace my Saturday lives. Saturday lives are for everyone. It'll be another day of the week I'll get picked out. I don't have one nailed down yet, but Chuck, Mountain Man Chuck, good supporter of the channel. He actually sent me an orange lipless. Chuck, I haven't forgot about it. Forever ago, and he's like, Debo, you should repaint this and do a cool video. It's probably been a year ago he sent that, and I still haven't done it. Like, I feel like a chump. There's just so much going on. But he said he would be.
Go ahead, read it.
I was just saying, Debo Hood would be pretty sweet. Of course, it has to be Tequila Sunrise. I've got, so Randall's buddy is a tattoo artist, did a sick DEBO'S. I think I've showed it before. A DEBO'S fishing graphic. I'm actually talking to another person right now. I put the feelers out for a few different people. I was surprised by the number of people that didn't really respond, that didn't want to do anything with it. But I had kind of a hookup on one. So hopefully it comes through. But the other one I can show you is this. Would you all like a sweatshirt of that? What do you think? A DEBO'S fishing. It's got the Iowa. It's got the bass fish eating the frog.
Can you turn your phone sideways and make it bigger and show that again?
Oh, will it do it? Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yeah. There you go.
DEBO'S fishing, bass eating a frog. It's got the Iowa outline. It was freaking sick. Randall's buddy did it. I tried to con him into doing some more, like a fine wood, pitch to wood, but he wasn't interested. So I'll do that, and maybe I'll just do like a random Debo, like a hat or some stickers or something. But I need to attach the thing to my my account, get that going. But also comment below and let me know. I'm way behind in comments. But anyway, okay, listen. I want to do beginner baits. I don't want to get off on too many tangents because I want to help the beginners. So beginners, what questions do you have about beginner baits? I put some baits out. Hold on. And I figured out I can still talk. Can you all hear me perfectly fine?
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So my
walk away
microphone's
or
actually
whatever.
coming through my webcam that I didn't know for the longest time. I thought it was on my headset. So I can talk and do all this. I just can't hear anyone. Randall will be my ears. Thanks,
Yeah,
Randall.
yeah. You know, you're good. How about say something real quick? No, nothing. So Annie Hizzle. Oh, hey, there he is. He's back. Could you hear me that entire time? You just chose to ignore me? Oh. Next time you get up and walk away, you just kind of need to start talking, just so I can see if I can hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Or see if you can hear me, vice versa. You know. Or,
I can hear you. It only comes through here for me. So.
Yeah. See if you can hear. If I can hear you, and everybody else in turn can hear you as you walk away. But anyway,
look at this. Here's the special guest I was talking about.
Oh,
Rooch. What up, nerd?
What's up, guys?
What's up,
what's going on?
Your voice sounds sexy. Did you get a new mic?
New voicey thing?
It should be the same mic.
You sound very, very clear in mine.
Nice. Got a new visor.
No, you got a new hat that you cut.
Fresh to death.
We cut this last week on stream.
Fresh cut. Okay, so we're just talking about actually Chris Russ said, Randall, did you see Chris talked to me about this today. Dizzle, did you watch any of the BASS tournament today?
No, I've been busy doing things.
Okay, and Matt was killing it on the free rig today.
Nice.
Who was throwing
it?
Dude.
Matsushita.
Dude, I tell you what, I picked that up last year. Was it maybe Gramps that kind of recommended it? I think it might have been Gramps or Burley's group.
When we talked, actually.
Yeah, I think it was when we talked with Hella and a long
it could have been,
ago.
yeah. It was a while. I don't remember yesterday, let alone however many months ago it was.
Yeah, same.
But same. I threw that thing, and the only issue I had is I couldn't find any specific free rig weights. So I took like a little drop shot weight, and I had to crimp the eye of it closed a little bit more, so it didn't slide all the way down and knock my soft plastic off. But that thing was dynamite. It did work for me like second half of the season.
Yeah, I know you're a fan. I got some other stuff. I want to try the G-Crack Bellows Gill. You can probably see them here. I want to try free rigging those. I got some other stuff from Jackal on order from Tackle Warehouse, brand new. I thought they'd be pretty cool. But I want to mess around with it. That's one of the rigs I want to mess around with.
Right.
John Cox caught 31 pounds. I saw John Cruz was killing it. I think he's still in the lead, right? After today. I didn't check standings, but he was
like 3 pounds. He had 10 pounds coming in today, but then with Cox's almost 32 pounds, it cut to like 3 pounds now.
That sucks. I hope Cruz wins it. He seems like a really good cat. I've really loved the missile bait stuff. I need to see if they'll send me a truckload more of stuff. I'm a fan. Let's see. What did you buy, Rich? Rich, did you go somewhere and buy something? Chris Russ asked, "What did you buy, Rich?"
Oh, he's probably assuming since I have a hat that I bought something.
Oh,
I do have. It wasn't that order. I stopped in there for something else, but I do have a little Omnia box that came in while I was gone.
Ooh, cool.
We probably don't. You don't do unboxings on this channel, do you?
No, I've never done unboxing.
Well,
he does them now if you want to.
Say something in the chat, but otherwise we'll just whatever.
Yeah, watch Hellabass's channel. I'm sure he'll have one. Maybe he'll have.
We can open it tonight if somebody wants to see it. We can open it.
We can do that, or if you want to have an unboxing.
Let's save it for later, though. We don't want to do that right now.
Okay, we want to get
into to talk about. We'll save that for later.
We want to get into some beginner bass lures. So here, okay, Dustin Taylor. Dustin, are you the Iowa Dustin Taylor? Beginner baits, Cincos and beetle spins. Yes. Okay. So number one lure I'm going to go with, and this isn't in order, just kind of in my conglomeration of things here, because Dustin said it. Yes, a Cinco, a stick bait. There is 8,000 ways you can rig these. The wacky rig, as long as I've been fishing, still, going through different rigs. The wacky rig last year caught me more fish than anything. bar none. Yeah.
Or just a weightless too. I mean, either way, like, or just like a little jig head on it.
Yeah, I threw the wacky more, but like Hello's showing there, a shaky head. I know Randall's more of a shaky head guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a Texas rig. Yeah, you can bite it down, or if you throw a Texas rig and it rips the nose of it off, rip a little bit off and use it as a Ned rig.
I think that's a really good point where it is a versatile weight or lure where you can actually, you know, bite it down, make it smaller, and keep fishing it almost down to like a Ned rig size type of lure.
Yep.
And you can just keep going. So you're not burning all your cash going out and buying new packs of lures. And it makes a good transitional bait too. A good transition from a spinning rod to a bait caster too. I mean, you can fish them on both.
Yep. Yeah, I prefer like my smaller wacky rigs. I like to fish it on finesse, a little bit lighter line, smaller hook, but you could rig the same type of bait, like a 5.5 inch. I think that's what the regular pocket rockets are, 5.5 inch. You know, on a Texas rig. So you can go both ways with it. It's definitely a versatile lure. What else do you boys have to add? Anything on the stick bait? I knew that was going to come up. I think a lot of people know this is a great beginner bait. And the one thing I will add is the thing that makes this so good is it's just a do nothing bait. You throw it around high percentage areas, brush piles, grass lines, drop offs, and you just let it fall. There's no special way to work it. There's no special way to retrieve it. Just let it fall. And 90% of the time you're going to get bit on just the little drop of it going.
Yeah.
What else? What do you guys got?
They're really popular up here. We use them what we call jig worm, which is basically an exposed shaky head. So we throw it exposed so that when you're fishing weed edges, you get a nice vertical drop on it. And you actually want it to like catch in the greener, like cabbage and coontail and milfoil. And then as it gets caught, you just kind of pop it and when it falls, then it like catches and you pop it and it falls. And it's a deadly way to catch it. So a shaky head, a jig worm, right? A weighted wacky rig, right? You can put on like a inchy wacky head. Yes. Nico rigs. We didn't mention that. Yeah, there's like, you know, I mean, I've even caught fish just flipping a Senko, like put it on a quarter ounce, 5/16 ounce weight and just,
for sure.
You can fish it on a much lighter weight and flip grass edges, like, because it's so narrow and usually high salt content with
there's no resistance.
So like
there's nothing to hold it down. It just,
yeah, so like what you may like on a creature bait, right? You might flip, or a jig, right? You might flip like a half or a 3/4 ounce or something like that because of the kick of the craws, right? But with a Senko, you know, Yum Dinger style bait, flipping it, you can get by with like a 1/4 or 3/8 and get the same rate of fall and penetration.
Derek Campbell's question kind of rolls into this: weightless Senko, wacky, spinning, or bait caster. People fish them both ways. For me, a wacky stick bait is more of like a finesse deal. So I like to throw a bigger stick bait on a casting rod, though it's still finesse. When I drop down to like a little smaller 4.5 inch, I like to throw it on a smaller hook, a little bit lighter line. You get just a little bit more action out of a littler bait. Doesn't mean you couldn't throw a regular 5-inch stick bait on a casting rod. A lot of people do it. It just really depends on what you like and what you do. So,
yeah, sometimes if I'm throwing it like weightless, right, 5-inch on like a 4/0 EWG, you know, I'll throw that on like a bait caster with like 15-pound fluoro or something like that. Sure. But anytime I'm wacky rigging or Nico or any of that kind of stuff, or jig worm, right, then I'm usually dropping down to a spinning rod for that kind of stuff.
They're just so versatile. There's so many options, and like I'm one of those guys where like I love to throw a jig, but I'm never going to always just jig the jig back. I can swim a jig back. I can burn it back. You know, I can do a bunch of things with it. Almost the exact same thing with a stick bait. You can do so many different things with it.
Randall Pink Floyd said, "Isn't Free Rig a song by Foghat?" I think you're thinking of Freebird.
I literally have to sing the song every time me and Debo are out and I'm fishing it, and I have to. He's like, "What are you throwing?" And I break into a rendition of Free Rig by Dizzle.
He breaks into it. Let's see. What else do we have? Okay, so anything else on the stick baits? I knew stick bait Senko. I mean, there's a bajillion videos on that out there, but this was a tough one. Okay, let's go Topwater. So I had a couple picks for Topwater. I did have a Whopper Plopper out, but I put it away. And I probably shouldn't have, because it should have been like a 3-way duel.
I ran out to the garage, and one of the boxes I grabbed was my Topwater, just on a hunch.
Okay. So what do you guys got? Each of us get ready for one. In 10 seconds, we're all going to go with our number one Topwater bait. I'm gonna see
But
if
like
there's
beginner
anything
top water, right? Like
yes, beginner.
not like a vixen.
Not like a vixen. No, don't be bragging about having a vixen, jerk.
I got it. It's right here.
I don't have one, but I got mine.
Yeah, you don't have to have it. Okay, we ready? What do you got, Hella? Since you got yours for show and tell.
Oh, golly!
A bone popar.
I like
And
it.
honestly, and the second one, right, would be a bone Zara spook. Like if I could only have 2 top waters and I was like basic stuff I could get at Walmart, Dick's, it would be a bone, head and spook and a bone popar.
Love it. Randall,
And
what
if
do
you
got
need
for
another
your
color, get chrome. But those are only 2 colors you
yeah.
need.
Yep.
Chrome or bone or go home.
Wait, what did you just say to us?
What?
I just
Chrome
asked
and what? I'm going a different route, and I'm thinking a little bit more of just the upfront. I'm going a buzz bait just simply for the fact of if I'm a beginner, I'm probably throwing a spinner bait. So I kind of understand the concept of spinner bait. So buzz bait should be able to be picked up easily. The only other thing that I want to throw in there is just because a beginner person traditionally is going to be, especially like a younger person, like a child or something like that, is going to be timid of actually touching the bass to begin with. I don't want somebody going out there and like grabbing on to a bass, whether it's a 4-pounder or a half-pounder, with all those treble hooks everywhere, getting them stuck with 5 hooks and never wanting to fish ever again because they had a bad time. Buzz baits are simple. They're easy. 1 hook, fish it like a spinner bait. Just get out there and chuck and wind.
Chuck and wind. That's why I was going to go plopper. I didn't bring it because I figured price is kind of one of the things, for a beginner. So I was right on board with Hella. I couldn't find my my Rebel Pop R, but this is the Rebel Pop R. This is the X what is it? X Wrap Pop 7. So basically the same thing, a popping, popper type bait. You can walk them in place. This is kind of a mix between a shad and a chrome. It's got that flashy deal on it. Yep, that's the Skitter. Is it a Skitter Pop? I think you're muted, Hella.
I was. I cleared my throat. Yeah, like a skitter prop or a skitter pop is another one that you're going to find at Fleet Farm and places like that. That's reasonably priced.
I've got a blue chrome one. That was the very first lure that I ever had the solo double on. I had 2 smallies hit it at the same time, and I reeled them in. First lure, blue chrome.
I will say the hula popper was up there on my list, and that's got multiple treble hooks, and that was like one of the first ones I came across. But yeah.
Yeah, so a popper, Rebel Pop R, they're cheap. You can find them everywhere. You can walk them in place. You can walk them a little bit more aggressive, like a walking bait. You can just real slow bloop them, bloop, bloop, like if you're by a log or something. They're very versatile. And it was a close one for me. I couldn't find a Booyah Pad Crasher. I was down here actually working on something different, but a Booyah Pad Crasher, you can get them at Walmart for $4 or $5. A frog. As a beginner, something cheap, something that doesn't get hung up. Unlike, a treble hook lure with 2 trebles, you get this too close to a tree, you're getting hung up, and from the bank, you're kind of screwed. Frog, completely different deal,
There's your pad crasher.
There's a pad crasher right there.
Booyah
Pad crasher or whatever frog you like, Spro. This happens to be a Scum trophy series, real nice frog. An affordable frog. You're not going to get hung up all the time. You can walk it over grass, pads. Yeah, there's perfect. The black and yellow. That's actually my favorite color in theirs. That or the
because it's the Steelers, right? You like it because of the Steeler colors?
Oh yeah, Steelers. No.
He's more of a Hawkeye cat.
But, he was
I was Oh my God.
Even though you do look like Big Ben Rothwell in that picture of me and you, Randall, sitting at the table, remember? Didn't you have a Rothwell jersey on?
Oh, it was Brett Kiesel.
Oh, okay.
And that dude had a Brett Kiesel jersey on too at the same time, which is crazy.
So Pop R or a frog are my picks. Buzzbait, I think, is a good pick. Whopper Plopper's another good pick.
The little ploppers, right? Those are good. Don't sleep on a little torpedo, right? Especially like ponds and small lakes. The torpedo is a fun bait.
Yeah, I like anything that's really going to kind of make a noise or like something that's going to make a reaction strike. So if you get like a hula popper or something that's going to pop on the surface, it kind of makes you start to understand what you need to do to make those fish strike and attack, and what you need to really do to kind of piss them off, you know?
Yeah. The other thing nice about topwaters, right, is if you're new to fishing and you're still getting the casting thing down, and you're not like so a buzzbait. The only tricky thing about a buzzbait, right, if you're really new to fishing, is that you kind of got to get it going as soon as it hits the water.
Oh yeah.
And so when you're first getting started, your kids, right, they like throw it out and it hits the water and it sinks for 3 seconds, and then you're like, right. Well, that's the nice thing about topwater. Like letting it sit for 3 seconds is great. Like that actually sometimes like brings the fish in, and then the first time you like pop it, it's like boom, right? Like so.
Yeah.
I do gotta say, there's is on. Here's a blueback herring. Philip Cheek sponsored the blueback Project Blueback that I'll be launching soon. It'll have a reason, but Philip, good supporter. I did catch, I think, one on this one day, Randizzle, when you were out in the water, and that was the only fish it caught that day. Don't ever get the Boy Ducket soft popper. I thought it was going to be cool. It's like a mix between a hollow body frog. So this is soft, like a hollow body frog. And I'm like, dude, this actually looks kind of cool. No, it's garbage. It sucks. The action on it sucks. Don't waste your money on it. Get the Rebel Pop R for like $4 or whatever.
I think as a general statement, ducket lures, that kind of is a.
They do kind of suck.
They don't. They got a few things that are okay, but as a general rule, the ducket stuff's not the greatest.
Yeah, I don't like to talk.
Can I make an asterisk next to my buzzbait answer?
No, you already gave it.
Okay, yes, well, I'm gonna do it anyway. I like a Strike King toad, like one of the like the soft plastics that you just throw on an EWG. I've had like so much. Yeah, like a rage toad or a rage frog or anything, or rage shad even, where you just have the kicky little legs in the back, and you get the benefit of being able to see the strike and things like that, and the benefit of letting it be able to sink and not get it all gummed up because you hook it weedless.
Yeah,
I've had so much luck with those things. It's crazy just to think how many fish I've caught with them, and kind of not as good as like a stick bait where you can reuse them, but at the same time, just getting you used to getting it up on plane and getting it up on top of the water and burning it back in.
Yeah, the only caveat I would say with frogs and buzz toads, right, is that you need to have a reasonably stout rod and braided line.
True.
Right? So that's the one thing is like if you show up with 10-pound mono and a medium light spinning rod, you're going to struggle with frogs and toads.
Yeah, I have I think it's a medium heavy, like 7-1 St. Croix Triumph spinning rod, and I always run like straight braid on it with that kind of setup.
It's you can get by with a lighter rod if you can run 30-40 pound braid on it. For sure.
Debo, I was trying to ignore that.
So we Fish with Grams is still talking about the Cox juice. I didn't get any Cox juice yet. For all you just joining and not knowing what the hell that is, it's a bait scent made by my old Johnny Cox.
I have some in my belt.
Yeah, I need to get some. For everybody just joining, we've almost got 300 people in here. I am giving away a Monster Bass hoodie. My fat butt can't fit in it. They sent me a large with the hats that I begged them for forever. But I'm fatty and can't wear it. So large runs a little bit small. I got kind of broad shoulders. And apparently I've gained some weight. So large sweatshirt I'm giving away. And since we're talking about beginner bass baits, I will be throwing in some beginner bass baits for whoever wins. You don't have to donate. I don't think I've missed any donations yet. Nobody loves me and wants to donate.
Frank
Cornacchia
had an astute observation. I'm sure you'll get to this comment someday. But he said he noticed that almost all of the topwaters I held up had red hooks on the front.
Oh, you're a believer in the red hook?
So I do for mainly topwaters. I won't throw a red hook on anything that goes deeper than, let's say, 5-6 feet. I only put them on the front hook. And based on my experience and what I've observed, right, I seem to catch a lot more fish that get the front hook when I put a red hook on it. It gives them a target, and whether it's kind of like the eye spot on a shad or a crankbait, right? You're giving them a target. I think it's just something different. And that front hook, I feel like I hook up on a lot more fish and that get the front hook or get both hooks when I put a red on the front only. I don't want to give them a choice. I don't want it back, front, or I don't only put it on the back. I only put it on the front. And I'll do that with like DT6s, DT4s, sometimes lipless crankbaits, but almost always topwaters. If you ever watch a tournament video, I'm always going to have a red hook on the front hook.
Yeah, see, that's funny because that's something I've still not bought into it yet. I've played with a little bit, and I feel like it doesn't make that big of a difference. But that's the cool thing about fishing is you can fish 5 different people side by side, and one person will be completely confident in one thing versus the other. That's what makes it fun. That's why I like to have different people on the show because, hey, I've said it before, learn from as many different ways as you can because my way is not right. Hello Bass's way isn't right. Randall's way isn't right. Use what works for you. Maybe.
The other thing is, like on walking baits and popping baits, I always like to have some kind of a feather. Some of them come with them, some of them don't.
I do like that, especially
I do like
on my
having
popper.
feathers.
This sits a lot. Yeah.
Hey, Hella, what do you think about the ones that have the treble hooks with the little spinner baits on them? Have you used those very much?
I tried a little bit playing with them. I bought a couple packs, and then I don't know. Yeah, jury's still out.
Not necessarily for topwater, but you know, in general.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's probably I could see a place where like a jerk bait, right? You could almost use it as like a weighting your jerk bait, right? With just having that little blade, or I debate whether like that extra flash could be good and the other clicking right, but then they're saying like, you know, sometimes you just get a little blade of grass on your bait and it doesn't run right.
Yeah.
So what is that blade going to do? So I don't know. I struggle with it, and I haven't honestly played around with them enough to say. I know some of them they said they fell off really easy, but
really, I feel like a jerk bait even is one of those baits where I tend to get like the hook filed up in the line or something like that as I'm, you know, working it back in. It seems like it's a little bit more dicey. I don't know. I just wanted to ask since you brought up the feather and it just, you know, popped in my head real quick.
Yeah,
we got a couple donations. Apparently, I guilted some people into to donating. I didn't mean to do that. Jesse G with the $5 says, "I love you, Debo." Jesse G, I'll take a sip to that. Thank you, brother. I always see him here, and of course, Eliza. Eliza's another good follower. Sister, I support you. You know, she said $5. Thank you, Eliza. I always appreciate you joining and watching.
So here's the fun thing that I don't know if you got lots of members in here. I don't know if you noticed this. So if you go to where you would super chat, if you're a member, after you've been a member for a month, they give you an option to have like a highlighted comment for free. So it's like a super chat that you don't have to pay for.
Oh, cool.
So like this is the example.
Yeah, and listen, I've never begged you all for money. You don't need to donate at all. That was kind of just a joke. If I get no donations, that's fine. I just want to help out and talk with people. If you do, obviously the donations go to the channel, making upgrades, gear reviews. I want to get back on the gear reviews because honestly, those are, to be honest, some of my favorite videos to do, and I'm just such a perfectionist on them. I've said before, I filmed the SLX DC video 3 times. And it just never turned out, so I just deleted the footage, and it's still never been done. But I did film. I got a new reel. People were like, "Hey, I want to see that." I filmed the new reel video. I haven't even got this reel on the water, but I kind of give you my reasonings why I did it. I filmed it, and I feel good about it. So we'll see how the new deal turns out. Randall, what are you laughing at?
I'm just thinking we could just go out and, you know, chuck around a heavy weight onto the ice and see how it feels. Oh my God, I'm begging.
Just go get a frog, whip it on the ice.
All bass style. Chris, poppers for a beginner, for sure, I would say mono. Like 12, 14, the Triline XL red box comes in 14 pound. I think 14 is a great do-it-all size, maybe even 12, depending on what you're throwing. But I like mono. It's a little bit stiffer, so it sticks out kind of from the eye of the bait. It sticks out kind of like this, so you don't get the treble hooks fouled up in it when you're walking it or popping it like you do with braid.
Make sure you don't accidentally grab XT also. You want to look for XL.
Yeah, XL is my favorite, hands down.
XT is just super stiff and kind of gross.
What else we got? Okay, so that was the first one. Let me go through and make sure we don't. Scott Lore with the $2. Now I'm getting pity donations. Guys, you don't need to donate just because I said it. I'm sorry. But Scott, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate the $2. Thank you so much, my dude. What else do we have in here? I want to make sure I'm getting to the. I was actually back at 7:45. So I just flip over almost 15 or so minutes of questions. I am so sorry, guys. You pound me with the damn comments, and I can't keep up. That's why I like having other people in here.
If Randy was a better moderator, he'd be able to keep up.
I know,
dude. I'm rocking cell phone and watching the stream on a TV that's too far away, and I don't have glasses on.
You gotta get his cheaters on. He's like, I see a comment.
Swinging my cheaters, my bivocal cheaters. Come on, man. Oh, jeez.
Okay, so let's go into number 2. Okay, number 2, we're gonna go for your number 1 moving bait, boys. I tied this 2 ways because I think it depends on where you fish. 1 was my early confidence bait. If you've been around the channel any sort of time, you probably already know it. But I think it depends on where you fish. One's gonna work better than the other. So I'm talking about cast and retrieve, cover in some water. This could be anything from crankbaits to bladed baits to single hook baits, whatever your favorite is. I'm going to try to find a question while y'all think of it.
You said this is the basic overall.
This is beginner. Bait. We're talking beginner. So nothing, you don't have to get too fancy. We're just talking beginner stuff. I'm thinking beginners probably more fishing from the bank, not necessarily with the affordability of kayaks and stuff. Even Rich from a boat perspective. Anything really goes, but I'm just kind of feeling what's going to fit really any of those, to be honest. Derek, I need some new rods. Thinking of the Dobbins Fury. Fury is this absolute solid pick. Great rods. I've got 2. I thought I had 3. I could have swore I made
you used to.
Well, that was the Colt. You stole the Colt.
Oh yeah, I get it.
For Topwater, dude, I caught a 6 something pound largemouth on the 130 Chapo on that rod. I'm telling you, for Topwater, you don't need a crazy sensitive rod. That bass destroyed it, and since then Randall kind of inherited that combo, and he's liked it as well. Colt is a great rod for Topwater. I think
underrated.
7.
Not available a ton of places, so they're a little harder to find.
733, is that right, Randy?
I think so.
Or 734, whatever. I don't remember what exact measurements it is. But yeah, Fury, I would for sure back those. Great rods. Okay, do you guys have yours picked out? Can we go?
Sure.
Okay, Rich, I think you've got yours. You're nodding yes. I'm gonna let you go first.
Yeah, so I think one of the easiest baits to fish, comes through cover amazing, completely underrated, is never leave home without my swim jig box. And most people think about jigs, right? Bottom bouncing, dragging, but a swim jig, right, was just typically a bullet style with a hook and a weed guard, usually very light weed guards, and pair that up with like a paddle tail or some kind of like kick and grub, a little craw, like the spicy beaver, a pocket craw, a menace grub. Like there's, just a single tail grub like this. And you cast it out and retrieve it. It's almost like a spinner bait. It's basically, for simplicity, think of it as a spinner bait without a blade. It's that easy. You throw it out, you can count it down, you can fish it real slow right above the bottom, you can burn it just under the water. It comes through vegetation, it comes through pads. They're pretty good around wood. And when a fish eats it, the hookup is really good because of that light weed guard. They come up and it's just like you just boom and you got them.
Yeah.
Like it's, I don't know, and you need like basically 3 colors. You get like a bluegill, some kind of white or white and chartreuse, and then like a black and blue, right? Something dark. Like, my box is mainly full of Super K swim jigs, but there's a lot of good ones out there. I don't know. Swim jigs win.
I agree. Completely agree. And that's kind of part of my my deal here. Randall, what do you got?
So this is everybody may or may not know, I'm not the look at this huge crazy array of different type of lures that I have. I'm more of like a beginner type of fisher that is good with a jig, and that's about all I can do.
I say you're lying. You're not the guy looking at you're like, all I need is a jig because it's the best fishing lure ever made.
Okay, well it is, but still, when I was thinking moving bait for a beginner, a swim jig didn't even cross my mind. I was stuck on, do I want to choose a spinner bait or something like a lipless, like chromed out, something that's gonna pull through grass and things like that. So that's where I think we differ a little bit as far as our styles of fishing, I'm like, give me a bigger hammer, let me hit the thing harder. And Debo, I know for sure you were like, oh, maybe a screwdriver works better than a hammer in this case, which I feel like, a swim jig versus a spinnerbait or lipless.
Yeah, I feel like you didn't. I feel like you kind of did a knee jerk reaction because you fished
Sure.
the swim jig a lot more than me this year.
Oh, a
When
ton.
I
Yeah.
tried to force other things, so it's very situational. Like Randy said, you could do lipless, you could do a square you could do, and that's actually what I picked was one of each of these because Hellabass nailed exactly what I was going to say. So you all know me. Going back for however long, my number one confidence bait that I learned to fish with this was a spinnerbait. Back in the day, I don't remember swim jigs really being that big. Maybe they were, but I just wasn't at jig fishing. Chatterbaits certainly weren't a thing when I was learning to fish, 20 years ago. Spinnerbait was it, watching my guys Hank Parker, Bill Dance, you cast it out and retrieve it. And there was a lot of days I got skunked with it with dad or out in the ponds with my buddies, but you learn to where it works well, where it doesn't work. Those cloudy days when I would be with dad, he'd be like, hey, now would be a good time for your spinnerbait. Around standing timber, we had a ton of lakes that were just like old forests that they flooded and, man-made lakes of, like 500 acres or whatever. They work great around that. But like Hellabass said, really a spinnerbait is if you cut the wire and the blades off of it, what do you have? You got a swim jig. And this is one that I made. It doesn't have the weed guard, but essentially the same thing. A swim jig with some sort of kicky something in back, and you can modify how kicky you want it to be. You can go with something more aggressive. This is the Adrenaline Craw from X Zone. You could go with like a little tiny paddle tail that just has, almost nothing, to like he was saying, the spicy beaver that's got a lot of thump. You can kind of mess with it. Or if you take that same swim jig and put a blade on the front of it, you've got a bladed jig, right? Works better around grass. Does not play well with wood. But what I was going to say for beginners is get the cross eyes, the Z-Man cross eyes with those wire weed guard things. Awesome for fishing from the bank. You just get hung up so much less. So, I mean, Hella already kind of nailed it, but a moving bait, those are my go-tos simply because, with the treble hook bait, fishing from the bank, and when you're starting out, you get snagged a ton. And it's just,
you
have to learn when, where, and how those kind of work. Unless you've got a place, no grass, no wood, it's just rocks, then, a crankbait's money. But
yeah. And you don't necessarily need to get swim jigs either. Like if you've got a flipping jig, you can swim a flipping jig, right? Like, so you can start out, build confidence with the jigs you have. And if you like it, then go out and grab some swim jigs.
100%. You can.
Real quick. Hold on. I just want to say Scott Lohr with the $5 donation said, you're the man, Debo, but Penn State still owns you. Dude, I don't even want to talk about that Penn State game. Anyway.
Oh, wait. No, never mind.
So that's
going to go into some Penn State
Scott, everybody. Scott's going to get blocked after this because he doesn't like the Hawkeyes. So I'm kidding. Randall, what do you got? What's your go-to?
Well, Gramps, I'm probably going spinnerbait, but Gramps always also pointed out underspin. I was a huge proponent of underspin last year. I really I don't know what it was. I just had a couple of good times, and I just got on the underspin kind of bandwagon. And I found the ones that I like, and then I found the ones that I didn't like, and I just liked an underspin. And I threw it. I'm like, it's totally untraditional type of person where I'm going to throw stuff when other people aren't going to try to throw it. And most times I don't catch any fish, and Debo catches them all because he knows what he's doing. But still, I get a lot of casts in.
Depends on the place of the day. GC said actually. Rooster tail, absolutely. If you just have like a regular medium power spinning rig, it is hard to beat a rooster tail. For the longest time, actually, I didn't know that inline spinners, there was like other brands. I thought they were all just rooster tails growing up.
Meps.
Like Meps. Yeah, I didn't know there was rooster tails. All I fished.
Vibra spin.
Blue Fox, yep. Meps, there's all kinds. But yeah, rooster tail. If you have just like a medium 1/8 ounce medium spinning rod, you can catch anything and everything on those. I did also see a comment about line. Where did it go? Dustin Click. For beginners, is it worth spending the money buying a good fluoro, or is it okay to keep the mono that Bass Pro puts out? I've never used the Bass Pro mono, but I would say mono over fluorocarbon starting out. Mono floats.
Oh, yeah.
So you can fish topwater, moving baits, whatever. It does have a little bit more stretch, but as a beginner, I would say you're worried more about learning the casts and different casts versus how much stretch do I have? How invisible is my line? I preach it on here, Trilene XL, but really whatever mono you like that you're comfortable with. Generally, mono is going to be softer too, not always, but most monos are a little bit softer than kind of a wiry fluoro. So
yeah, I'd invest in braid before I'd invest in fluoro.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. My progression was mono, probably like a XL low vis 10, 12 pound. And then, it started slowly moving into like braids, heavier braids. Probably started out with like a 35-pound braid and kind of moved up from there, outside of spinning rods, of course. I was like super small on spinning rods. But yeah, don't go right to fluoro. It's a little too expensive and it's a little too stiff, especially if you're trying to get into bait casters.
Brittany said you got to send money to get the comment answered. Brittany, that is not the case. When questions are flying through here, it's hard, and I want to make sure I take care of everybody that comments with the donation because it means a lot to me. But I did see your comment, and see you didn't have to get money to answer that. So, Brittany, thanks for joining and watching. I appreciate you.
Buy
Beetle
you
Spin,
something.
yeah, Beetle Spin, kind of the same thing. I forgot, and to be honest, I actually hated the Beetle Spin.
I don't know if I've
box
ever thrown one.
So the Beetle Spin was the little thing with like the grub that had 2 feet. Here, I can go grab one. Here, I'm gonna go grab one.
It's basically a tiny spinner bait on a flexible
Don't they have
arm.
like a weird kind of like where it comes down with a normal spinner bait down on that arm? It kind of has a wire that goes back up and hooks around.
Yeah, and it's flexible, right? It pivots on that point.
Okay, yeah. I've never really thrown those at all.
They're kind of, mainly, I guess, the main size of beetle spin are kind of targeted as crappie baits, but they do make some bigger ones.
Sure. I do know that, kind of going back just a little bit more, inline spinners. I don't know if you've had a whole lot of luck with like pike or pickerel or any of the esox toothy critters on them, but around here or even up in Okoboji when I used to go up there, like an inline spinner, like a chartreuse. I don't remember what size, like a 5. I don't know what size, but those things would kill the pike up there.
Okay, got him. So if we're talking about true beginner lures, if we go with a jig head with a grub on it, without even the spinner, this truly was one of the best fish catchers. If you don't care about fishing just for bass, because it's not always the best bass fishing lure, but if you just want to go out and catch stuff in ponds and stuff, a little round ball jig head with a curly tail grub, amazing. Now this is the Mr. Twister. This is what I like throwing more, was like one of these with a curly tail grub or like a little shad bait. This is actually one of the original beetle spins, but I didn't like these things. They have zero action to them. It's like a little larvae looking thing. And some of the big ones had like 2 little feet that were kind of connected together. I didn't like them, but the thing is, all these old spinner deals, you can take these off and put these on any jig head. So I fished them usually on a curly tail or like a little shad profile thing, like a little tiny paddle tail. Actually, I've got one here that I just used last year. This is Missile Baits talking about John Cruz. Shockwave, like a little mini tiny version of one of these little paddle tails. That's what I liked. So absolutely, Andy, any of these little spinners, they still have these. I should break one of those out. I would reckon to say people hardly fish those anymore, to be honest. Nobody talks about them.
It's kind of like a tube, kind of,
like
at least around.
Around
here anyway. Honestly. It changes. The thing is, we kind of get stuck in that, a little bit of that cycle where we're just stuck on what people around us are fishing.
Yep.
And that's another thing, with Hella, he kind of said, oh, I'd try to do this. And then I'm thinking, specifically around us for that moving bait. And I was like, well, swim jig is pretty awesome because it kind of goes through everything, but around here I'm thinking, okay, well, I like grass lines and weed lines and things like that. And I can hit those early in the spring, late in the fall with my lipless. And I don't know, just kind of thinking outside of the just local type of fishing that we do is probably what we need to do a little bit more, I think, maybe, Debo.
Yeah, mix it up.
Before it comes to jibs.
I'm trying to go through. I'm at 8:10 now, so I'm already 11 minutes behind on comments. Ronald with the membership joining. Ronald, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate you. We got some people saying nice pics. I like it. This is helpful. Move out to Vicky Stark's apartments and get a real computer pro. I don't know what that means. Randall was also saying you were getting the Wi-Fi internet off of Walmart again, so we got to give Randall that. You're clean today. You're clean and clear. There's none of that stuff. Let's see. How to fish a jig? We got multiple questions about jigs. Somebody said, "Oh, Randall's talking. We're going to hear 3 different ways to fish a jig."
Six different ways. I've updated my skill set.
Oh man, what else we got? Going to pick one of those cross eyes this year. Rob Harrison says, "Rob, I would highly recommend it. They are great for bank fishing." Hey, here's Brittany again. See, Brittany, you didn't have to donate. What's the heaviest lure you throw on 10? So I'm guessing you're throwing 10-pound monofilament. It depends if you've got a casting rod or a spinning rod, because the action and taper is going to be a little bit different. Usually on a spinning rod, they're a little bit softer. So if you have like a medium power spinning rod, 10 I think is the best on a spinning rod. If you're throwing like mono, you can throw pretty much anything on that. I threw wacky rigs on that forever, but I would go up to maybe a quarter is all. I wouldn't go really any heavier than that.
I would probably do something stupid and throw like up to a half, and like after the third cast, it sails out in the middle of the lake. But so I'd listen to Debo.
So we got tungsten, we got bullet weights, we got stuff with weights for Texas rig. I think that's a good buy into what the next one is. Let's see if we have anything else come in. Jigs, got other talk going on. Floating Rapalas.
Yeah, I would say these past few springs, I would ditch the beetle spin and just fish a little grub on a jig head, and catch bass, crappie, bluegills. Yep. Beetle spin, it can be with the blade, without the blade, but any tiny jig with a little boot tail or a little grub, that's just as basic as it gets, and it catches everything.
All right, so the next one for me, out of necessity fishing, growing up, I used to throw worms on a jig head. So just like we were talking about, a jig head like this, and I would rig it weedless. So I'd rig just the point of it here, and I'd rig my my soft plastic into the back of it so it was weedless. Essentially a shaky head. I didn't know what I was doing, but it was essentially a shaky head. Mm-hmm. And then as I got older and Dad was showing me a Texas rig, there's a much easier way to fish worms and creature baits. For me growing up, it was the power baits, 7 or 8 inches, what Dad always threw, Texas rigged, Tequila Sunrise. I like the black grape, really good old color of mine, June bug, green pumpkin. But for me, this right here, a curly tail worm, has caught arguably more fish than any other rig out there. Probably a jig is close, but a Texas rig worm is something that's worked forever. You Texas rig this so it's weedless. I usually go to a 1/4 ounce for bank fishing as my go-to weight. If you're fishing just a little bit deeper, I'll go up to a 3/8 for bank fishing. Usually I don't go any heavier than that from the bank, but a Texas rig worm, you can throw it in and around brush, wood. You can bounce it in and off of grass lines. You can drag it up, drop-offs. The thing with fishing from the bank is you're throwing out deeper, and kind of dragging it up to you. But you could drag it up those things. It's, it's weedless. That's it. To me, a Texas rig worm is one of the best because out of necessity, you're not getting snagged all the time, so.
Yep. And it doesn't matter what color it is as long as it's Tequila Sunrise.
If you're my old man, yes, correct.
The good thing about that too is you can, cut those down, bite some of the body off, tear some of the body off. If it gets ripped, if it gets torn, going back to what we talked about earlier, they're very, very usable, very, very fishable, just kind of make it happen baits.
But yeah, when I was a kid, right, fishing out of my dad's boat when I was 8, 10, right, first it was 7-inch Berkeley power worm on a jig worm, and Texas rig. Those were if the weeds were real thick, right, we were fishing around pads and weeds, right, it was a Texas rig, and if we were out on the edges, then I'd throw it on a jig head. That was literally the 2 things that I caught, almost every bass on when I was a kid until I got used to doing all the other things and got confidence.
Mm-hmm. Obviously post crawlers, minnows, kind of bobbers. Right.
Artificial
neighborhood
stuff.
Yeah.
We're talking only artificial. Sinking a worm out there in a bobber or a little split shot, dude, you can catch so much stuff on those. And I know we kind of make fun of it on the channel.
Literally everything. It's fun every once in a while too.
Everybody learned to fish that way,
Heck yeah.
But yeah, we used to Randall Pink Floyd said we used to make a living off the Kalen's grub power bait, Mr. Twister and Kalen's. Yeah, 3-inch grub, dude, for bass fishing. Easy way to catch fish. Easy way to catch fish.
You were talking. I watched one of your old videos the other day, Depot, and you were talking about the hula. Was it the hula grub?
The hula grubs. Yeah, we fished those. That was the day you
Yeah.
casted your Avid X and broke it.
Yeah,
For
sure it was.
Yeah, I used to fish a hula grub a lot. It was the Arky hula grub. I had a bunch of those in root beer. There they are. Yep, lost art.
Just kind of basic. Throw it on a jig.
Yes.
Throw it on a jig head. And
do those have the hard front where the collar is? Is it hard, like the hard crunchy stuff there?
No, I mean it's all the same plastic, but
the Arkies used to have like a hard collar around them, and mine are all old and gross. You push it, it's like. But yeah, that's another good one. Okay, so we got a bunch of questions on brand. Is there a best brand? I saw people saying, is Googan the best beginner stuff? Kind of a whole bunch of questions. So Aiden Water says, what brand would you suggest for beginners? Somebody said, is Googan the best beginner bait? So listen, when fishing is one of the biggest brand loyalty deals you can get into, and I kind of equate it to like running shoes. If you get a shoe that's really comfortable and that fits you really well, you're generally going to gravitate toward that, right? And say, oh, Nikes are the best, or Asics are the best, or New Balance, whatever it is. You're going to find a shoe that fits you and you really like it. Same for baits. Like once you get one of those days where you catch, 30, 40, 50 fish on a lure, you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to go more toward power bait or Zoom or Googan, whatever it is, Yeah, Yum. Power. It's
so like these would be where I would start, right?
Yes.
You are not going to find 3 brands where you're going to get better bang for your buck that are straight fish catchers than Yum, Zoom, and Powerbait.
I agree.
I think the biggest
for cheap.
I think the biggest thing about all of those is you have the lasting power too. You have that durability. They're not going to get pulled through some grass and rip. Not saying that all the others do, but you do run into that when you get up there with the higher dollar stuff like Yamamoto's or anything like that, especially with stick baits. Those things are notorious for not lasting. You get some of those, Zoom, Yum, any power baits, those things last. It seems like you're going to get rid of those before you're done fishing some days,
White Whale Fishing, shout out. He said hello from the Columbus, Ohio Fishing Expo. Bass Geek says hello. Old Hank's out there. Hank the Tank, huh? That old dog. He's just hitting all the expos. Well, thanks for joining, White Whale. I appreciate you. Here's one from Derek. Derek says, how about beginner baits if you cannot get a bite? What simple bait is the last possible tie on? I think we kind of hit that first. For me, a wacky rig is like when I'm desperate. That's one of them. If I have hard bottoms, I did grab another one. If I can find it here. What did I do with it?
Yeah, or just downsize a little grub, a 3-inch grub. Just drag it, swim it. Like you'll catch crappies, you'll catch bass, you'll catch pike, you'll catch cat. Whatever lives in your pond will eat a 3-inch grub probably.
I honestly don't know where it went. I was going to say a Ned rig was going to be one of my favorites if you have kind of a hard bottom, like a sandy bottom. It doesn't work as well for, Hella's got some there. I don't know where the heck it went. I had one all rigged here on an EWG. For bank fishing, I would say like a Ned EWG, which means instead of having an exposed hook, like he was showing on that, Hella, do you have that bigger worm? He had, I forget.
Yeah, or you can get like some weedless Neds, right?
Yeah, there's a weedless Ned.
Yeah.
What was the big Senka you had rigged with the worm on it?
Yeah, that was on exposed jig head like that.
Yeah, so like that. So that's kind of like what you'll see in a regular Ned rig with the exposed hook, but with a Ned EWG, it's kind of like an EWG hook hooked into the Ned rig, and great for beginners because you can bounce it around stuff. If you happen to have a log there or something, it comes over that well. You don't have to worry about getting hung up. But if you have like sandy, rocky bottoms, obviously it doesn't work well if you have like that real scummy, slimy stuff on bottom, because really any type of bottom rig gets grossed up in that. That's where I go to like a wacky rig. But I mean, the Ned rig just catches fish so many places, so many different ways. It's people make fun of it and say it's not cool. I'd rather not go fishing than fish a Ned rig or something like that, right? But no shame.
I would kind of.
I love getting on a Ned rig bite. It's fun.
I would kind of go the route of go a little bit smaller, also kind of like Hella. Granted, a wacky something like that, or like a weightless Senko, throwing something out there like that, and just kind of not having to worry about working it and hoping it's something that the bass like or the fish like in general. It's just gonna do what it's gonna do.
That's right. Pike and tackle, best beginner all-around color. Lots of new people get overwhelmed with the thousands of choices. Absolutely, dude. I mean, growing up, I'm kind of one of those people that was always looking for that secret color. I thought for the longest time that red shad was going to be the spin-off color to beat my old man, because he swore on Tequila Sunrise, and he whooped my butt with it all the time. Hella's holding up something there. I don't know what was that, like pumpkin?
Green or black? Like that's
Yeah, and the more I've got into it, if I can only pick one color, green pumpkin is usually it. Unless your water's really dirty, then like a black and blue or a black and purple, something darker that creates a silhouette. But I mean, green pumpkin will work anywhere. Straight black, like Hella said, will work anywhere. Clean, clear, 100% clear water. So I would go green pumpkin, straight black, or if you've got really clear water and want to go with something a little bit more natural, like a watermelon candy or a watermelon red, something a little bit more see-through tends to work well, but you just have to kind of try it out. That's
watermelon, a little more translucent versus a green pumpkin is a little more opaque.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny. I had somebody on one of my videos say, hey, I heard you say green pumpkin will even work in clear water. It's the best clear water color, idiot. Now you know. ... Hey,
P.S.
listen.
I like your fake beard.
Yeah, P.S. You're a dummy. And then he had, what was one of the other ones? If you throw a chatterbait with a paddle tail on it, it's negating what the chatterbait does. You're an idiot. Now you know. ... That's funny because I've caught tons and tons of fish on a chatterbait with a paddle tail. So
it's too bad you just don't have that. Now you know that star shooting across the atmosphere.
It's all about personal preference. I saw Hella kind of shaking his head there. I know he's a guy that likes to throw downsized, kind of more natural stuff. Hella, was that your alternate account? Was that you typing that to me?
Yeah. So you can definitely, and I've caught a ton of fish on paddle tails as well. It does alter the chatterbait. So it depends on what you want to do. Now, this is a little bit out of beginner discussion, but like if you want your chatterbait to move quickly and hunt, then the straighter the tail, the less action, the better. But there are times in like dirty water or colder water where you may actually want that paddle tail to negate some of that chatterbait, slow it down, and you can actually fish it slower and give a little more bigger profile and a little different vibration. So it depends on what you want to do. There's not necessarily a wrong or right.
Not all
but yes, if you truly want to do what the chatterbait was originally designed to do, then typically a straight tail is better. But there's still scenarios and ways to catch fish on paddle tails, and there's a place for it. And it catches a ton of fish too. So
yeah, Smackdown Outdoors nailed it. Smackdown, I don't know that I've seen you in here a lot. Maybe you just changed so many people I know from their icon. I don't remember that icon. But he said, whatever you can afford, best for beginners. He's had a lot of good feedback. Smackdown, thanks for joining tonight.
It's Doug Glimmerveen. He lives up here in Minnesota.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that. Did you change your icon, Smackdown?
He might have updated his logo a little bit.
Yeah, the logo. Because that's how I know a lot of people. Like Eliza, I know her profile from Holding the Bass with the purple shirt. Philip Cheek, of course, with his sweatshirt there. Good buddy. Chuck, Mountain Man Chuck. You know, all these people I know, Fishing with Gramps, of course. I know them from their what do you call it, logo. Chris Russ, my guy Chris Russ. What do you say? I don't mind the small clam shells that are in the bags, but the big ones with paddle tails are horrible. So I disagree. Like, dude, this is a whole mountain to fight on. But if I buy a paddle tail or a fluke, I don't want them to be all kinked up and jacked up when I go out there to fish. So, like, it seems like I'm okay for having them in clam.
Some companies do a better job than others. And getting their plastics to like lay,
not being too big and too like craziness in the clamshell.
I have this whole bag of these craws, and every one of them's got that like hard kink.
But see, to me, that's not going to matter as much because once you throw it in the water, it's going to do its thing, and just that's all it needs to do is flutter down. You know, as opposed to like a fluke, you want it to sit straight and sit like this. Or if you've got a fluke that's literally the shape of a C, it's not going to do fluke things. Trust me. That's when you'd want to throw it on a chatterbait and have a real non-obstructive action because that's what they do. They're better than paddle tails.
I'm just gonna say number one, Okeechobee craw. There's so many different variations of it. It's amazing color to throw all the time.
You're gonna love the video coming up. Speaking of Philip Cheek, Yeah, right there's another Okeechobee crawl. I'll put Hella up here. Hella's got all the show and tell. Hella, thanks for being my savior.
I just love that Okeechobee has, some Okeechobee with some companies have enough darkness. And I noticed with the trailers that I use, the Strike King trailers, not two Okeechobee crawl trailers are the exact same color. Some of them have a lot more dark. Some of them have a lot more light to them. So I feel that's kind of what I'm going off of when I choose my color. Number 2, clamshells are garbage. Stop killing the earth. Get rid of clamshells.
Oh, bull! Killing the earth has nothing to do with it. You just hate. Don't bring that crap into
I
it.
hate clamshells.
Don't try to pull that wool over people's eyes. What else? I just had something else.
If everything's in clamshells, how am I going to fill up my cargo pockets, bro?
I know you and the clamshells. Trevor says Z-Man and Nico baits last forever. Yeah, that's something to think about too. Z-Man does cost a little bit more than like if you find a Zoom, but that Elastec does last forever. You can fish like a Ned TRD for 20 fish, 30 fish. I think they've said before 100 fish on it or whatever. I've never had a 100 fish day, but I have caught a ton of fish on one Ned rig. That's something else to think about too. If you don't want to burn through baits, because like if you take, for example, Yamamoto, it's got a higher salt content, has an amazing action. Durability is kind of crummy though, so that's why I think, like a Yum or something kind of middle of the road. Bass Pro Shops, the BPS Sticko, good action, is kind of middle of the road, good salt content, but not too crazy.
Got a TJ sighting.
TJ in here, Ocean State says Debo likes the feel of a hard bottom. I am definitely a badunkadunk large bottom guy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. We go off topic here, but
I do gotta say, Tackle Junkie, Spyderco, bro, really? Come on. Debo recently got onto the Benchmade train, and I'm just a Benchmade guy to begin with.
Yeah, I had a sick Benchmade. It was the ED. What was ever the?
Oh God, what is it? Not the ripcord, the freaking
everyday carry.
It was orange.
Bug out. Is that it?
Bug out. Yeah, bug out.
Had a sweet Benchmade bug out and lost it. I'm bad at losing knives. I'm a dummy.
Osborne 940.
Okay, let's see. Did I have anything else? So those were my 3 main ones to hit: frog, moving, and then a Texas rig / bottom bait and the Ned rig. I did have a finesse jig. Randall already kind of hit it. So what else? Let's do a giveaway. What do we have for giveaway here? Let's do this.
While you do that, I do just have to say, Randall Pink Floyd had an amazing comment that you'll have to find once you get this stuff set up, because I can't just say it because it's not as good.
Okay, so I'm going to share. If you're just new joining, we have 300 people in here exactly right now when I'm looking. 303 now. I love you guys. Thanks for
engraving.
It blows my mind that we have 300 people watching on a Saturday night. Some idiot in his basement. But it means a lot. We love you. Hello, Bass.
3 idiots.
Randall, thank you for joining. Yeah, 3 idiots. That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate the good folks that continue to support me and join me and are willing to hop on my channel short notice. Hella, I kind of threw you under the bus to pick my Instagram soft plastic winner. Sorry. Did you have anybody send you a $50?
No, not yet. So it's still open for those that want to.
Damn.
What is that? A $50 who's it? What's it?
I did a live. I was making plastics out in my garage last night, just pissing around. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go live. To heck with it. And Hella was in there for a little bit. And I said, Hella, would you do me a favor and pick me a winner? He's like, okay. On short notice, he's like, okay, first person to send me a $50 gift card gets the baits. All right, hashtag hoodie. So get ready if you hate spamming. Some people are like, why is everybody spamming? We're doing a giveaway. So the giveaway is a large sweatshirt. So if you don't wear a large, don't enter. Or maybe you have somebody that wears it. That's fine. It's a large
one entry per person. Multiple entries
entry
don't help you.
You don't need to do it.
It doesn't do any good to repeat your hashtag 4 times.
Yeah,
that's only going to make people repeat it more and more and more, I think.
So they sent me a hoodie because I asked for hats. They sent me a hoodie, but I'm too portly for the large hoodie. So it's a large. So if you don't wear a large, don't enter. But anyway,
medium.
Let's see. Here's one from Derek Campbell. Tactical Bass taught me the best trick ever. I never went back. Put it upside down. Oh, talking about a paddle tail on a chatterbait. I've heard people talk about that. They've pointed me to that video. Yeah, that, or if you get a paddle tail ripped off, if you have a longer paddle tail and it rips the paddle tail off, they make a perfect trailer. Old, dead, ripped up paddle tails, like if you're fishing a like an underspin or something, and they rip the tail off. Those make perfect trailers. But yeah, Tactical Basket, if you guys haven't watched them, if you're watching me, of course, you've probably heard of those guys. They're one of the best in the industry at teaching people. Go check them out. They're good dudes. I don't know. I've never. They seem like good dudes, but they know what they're talking about.
This may open up a can of bot fly worms, but Hella, have you used what's it? The trench crawl, trench hog, the Googan baits, kind of elongated with the long pincers in the front for a
No,
trailer
but I've used
on
brush
a
hog
chatterbait.
Why? No, I guess I don't.
There.
Yeah, I don't.
I think it's the trench hog.
Yeah, the trench hog is like a brush hog. I mean, or similar to it. Little longer. It's actually probably closer to like a missile baits destroyer than a. But it's that style, right? It's an elongated creature bait.
Yeah.
I typically
just had really
avoid
good
those
luck
type of
with-
baits on chatterbaits. Not saying that you
Do
can't
they
catch fish.
affect it
but
as
it
much?
just so here's the thought behind it is that if you want your chatterbait to have erratic action, like a secondary action where it's going to like go and then blow out and spin out,
Sure.
right? Or hunt, you want as little drag as possible. It's like shooting archery. If you shoot an arrow without fletchings, it's going to do this, right? So the more appendages, the more drag, paddle tail, twin tail grubs, big flappies, it's going to make your chatterbait run really straight. And if that's what you want, and you want that action to come from the trailer, and it's going to kind of bog down your chatter,
sure,
which is fine. It still catches fish.
And it depends
got
on
its
the
application.
Too. It depends on the paddle tail. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, no,
Some
I mean, if you have a really
paddle
small
way
paddle
less-
tail, like an Arsenal minnow, right, which almost it doesn't really do it.
Like
But like a
Reaction
big
Innovation
gambler,
Little
big
Dipper?
easy is definitely going to deaden your chatterbait.
Yes.
Sure.
You can also put a paddle tail and like trim the flat part off, and then you'll kind of have a.
Cut the tail off. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like
I've seen almost like an hourglass kind of shape.
Yeah. No, just kind of like so it almost turns into like a little fluke tail almost. But
sure.
But so like if you want the chatter, typically I want my chatterbait to override my trailer, not my trailer override my chatterbait.
Sure.
Okay, we've got
I was just wondering.
How many more people do we have to enter? We have 300 people in here. We don't have half the people in here entered. Does anybody else want a large?
Because we're all thick.
Can we get to 140? If we get to 140, I'm drawn. That's it.
That just
140
means less than half the people wear a large.
Extra medium. I think I know a baby
That's true.
would fit in there.
I know. I'm sorry. We got. Let's see. What do we got? Critical Gravy's in here. He said #gravy. Gravy, I appreciate you. Somebody said before. You should do an Iowa meetup, an Iowa breakfast where everybody gets biscuits and gravy.
What about gravy?
Dude, if it wasn't so crazy right now, I would do that, and I would pay for everybody.
Just like we'll be those old guys that meet outside of Casey's and just sit out there with our coffee. And it's like, hey guys, there's restaurants that do this kind of thing around here. They're like, nope, parking lot, truck bed.
JL Waz, old school motor oil color. Yeah, dude, motor oil killed it for me back in the day. I've still got some orbs that have to go over to my old box, but Hella's got some.
Oh boy. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Does it have like a green iridescence kind of to it in the light?
This is like old school Berkeley.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, DEBO'S aroused now.
DEBO, I'll be right back.
Hope so. I guess Dizzle got a little excited. He had to leave. He's like, excuse me, I gotta go. That was too much. I can't handle it.
Open that box. I think Hella will have to do another. We're at an hour 15 already.
There's like 3 things in here.
Oh, we can do it. Let me pick a winner. Dizzle, I'm gonna mend it. Your lips shut. Damn, that's hardcore. Okay, so let's pick a winner real quick. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know about that layout. There we go. All right, we have 100. Oh, we have 138. We need 2 more entries. Come on. 140. 140 is the number.
2 more.
Yeah, Chris Russ says 300 views equals 300 likes. Go hit the like button.
I just got the notification that you went live.
Oh, good. That's helpful. Keith Borbusa, is he calling us idiots? #idiots? I don't know. Is that aimed at me? Yeah, I'm not the smartest guy on the block. That's fine. I'll accept that.
Oh, Grant's just entered. Oh, should be Travis, Dax, Kyle. Now we're over. Oh.
142. Okay, we're drawing it. 142. You guys ruined it. I only want a 140. Here we go. I'm sharing, right? Okay. for the large monster bass hoodie, and I'm going to throw in some baits.
Orlando Martinez.
Do you know Orlando?
No, sounds cool though.
Orlando Martinez, are you in the house? I should have said you got to be here to win. If you're not, you don't get it. Randall Pink Floyd says trench hog comes in clamshells.
That's what I was laughing at when I saw that.
Songbirds.
You can take it out of the clamshells and they react just fine. Sorry.
Yeah, Randall, you have Roland. Orlando's who I'm looking for. Thought it was Roland.
Don't all your favorite Googan baits come in clamshells, Dizzle?
Oh my god.
Yeah, you have a whole bag full of clamshells. I think this is.
I will bet you.
Malarkey.
I will bet you a lot of money. There's no clamshells in my fishing bag right now.
Yeah, but when you bought all those Googan baits, they had clamshells in them.
Debo gave me. I remember one time Debo literally showed up at the lake with like a Googan bait branded bag just full of Googan baits, and he's like, "Here you go. This is what you fish with now."
I bought it all specifically for you because I knew you love it.
Was it this Dizzle's birthday?
I found the bag on Tackle Warehouse, and then all the old Googan baits, they were like marked down to 90 cents when
it was like the money
Gander
bag.
went out. Yeah, when Gander went out, so I threw them all in a money bag and was like, "There you go." Okay, Orlando, are you in here? Orlando, last call for Orlando.
Fishing with Orlando. The Orlando Wilson Fishing Show. Because I'm gone fishing with you, Orlando Wilson.
9, 8. Actually, let's answer a question. If Orlando doesn't comment, he gone. I'm picking somebody else. Lots of congratulations. Thanks for being nice, everyone.
Until it's like, then all of a sudden they turn. Rip Orlando.
Yeah, right.
Spin it again now.
Murder his face off.
Orlando who?
Jason said, I would totally go to your side of the state and have some B's and G with you and Dizzle. It would be so worth it. Dude, I would love to. If my life wasn't so crazy right now, like I said, I've got a very close family member with cancer. So I'm honestly a hermit right now. I don't go anywhere. That's my number one priority. I try not to get around people and stuff because of their weakened immune system and such. But I'm hoping after some of this kind of clears up and stuff.
Oh, there he is. Just saw Orlando.
Orlando in here. Orlando.
Just under the arrow at 8:49.
Here, just by the hair of your chinny chin chin. All right, Orlando's here. Orlando, send me an email to DEBO'S Fishing. It's up on the screen now. DEBO'sFishing@gmail.com. Include a screenshot of your YouTube so I know it's you. Because believe it or not, I have had people trying to swindle old Debo and get free stuff when they weren't actually the winners. Send me that so I know it's you and where to send the stuff, and I will send you a sweatshirt and some baits. So what else do we got? We're going to go open forum. I don't know how much time you guys have. If you have maybe 15 minutes more. Oh, yeah. Hella's going to do an unboxing. What do you got, Hella?
All right. Let's just pop this open. I don't remember. So because of the Omnia membership, right, where like there's no shipping, whether you order like 1-pack or 2-pack, I've gotten in the habit of like grabbing things just instead of like saving up for a big order. So I've just kind of like, I don't remember. Something came in stock that I felt like I needed, that I'd want before spring, because I feel like now everybody's like, oh, don't wait till spring, everything's gonna be gone. So I've been grabbing a couple things.
Do you ever get stuff in that instance where you're like, I don't want to wait till spring, and then spring comes around, you're like, cool, why do I have 16 packs of this?
Fat Boy Fishing just sent me this. He's like, check your IG. That is a biscuits and gravy pizza with Bisquick crust.
How long my note is.
Damn, I'm gonna make that. Oh,
hey, Rich, thanks for appreciate.
Yeah, that's the cool thing on Omnia. They send you a letter every single time.
This one's from Andrew. Andrew probably has some of the most legible handwriting of anybody at Omnia.
Mine looks like a small child's writing.
Mine is like
with the
an illegible child with a broken left hand's writing.
Ronald said, Debo, will you sign a hat? If I sell hats, yeah, I would love to do. I would love to sign some stuff and do something.
Debo's just going to go out and buy some hats and send it out to people.
So I grabbed a couple of the Chatterbait Mini Maxes.
You haven't thrown those yet?
I've got a few.
No. So this is basically a compact.
Wait, that's different than the Stealth.
Right. So these are just a miniature version of so they're compact. Small blade. This is like a 3/8 ounce size.
Okay.
So it's just a I don't know, downsized version.
Yep.
Let's see if I can grab a regular sized chatterbait just for comparison quick, just so people can.
Jig Squad in the house. If y'all like homemade tackle making, garage making stuff, I had Jig Squad on a while back. I was on their show. Super nice dudes. Kuda, I didn't know that was you that run the whole Jig Squad thing. So Kuda, thank you.
So their comparison, right? Like there's the blade size. A little hard
Speaking
to see
of, Kuda, do you still want this 6-cent bag of stuff? I haven't talked to you since then. Let me know. Hit me up.
but it's basically a finesse chatterbait.
Oh
But
yeah,
not
lot smaller
stealth
profile.
finesse. Just a really small profile, which if you're a pond person or you're fishing in certain times of the year, like I know at certain times on the Mississippi River, the shad are really small and the bait's
Yeah,
really
Rich,
small.
what's your code real quick? Since you have a code
for
with
Omnia?
Omnia.
Right now it's HB 15. So HB Feb 15. I'll type it in the chat for anybody that.
I was going to do it right now.
But,
HB
yeah.
Feb.
If you want to see 15% on just about everything at Omnia outside of like Loomis, Shimano, Megabass, and a few other things. Yeah. But so yeah, when you have small bait, so if you're in ponds or certain times in different rivers or reservoirs when the shadder's small, or you just got, pressured situation where everybody's throwing a big chatterbait and you want to downsize, I think there's applications for having some mini chatterbaits.
Heck yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So where did I put the box?
Chris Russ had a good question. Are we going to throw those in the same bladed jig setup? What trailer for those minis?
So I'm going to probably go with a. So what I would probably
what size
do.
did you get?
So I got a 3/8 ounce.
3/8, yeah.
So normally like my go-to bladed jig trailer is like the 4.5-inch Arsenal tactical minnow, right? But I'll probably go down to the 3.5-inch or 3-inch tactical minnow.
Wait a minute, you just said the tactical minnow, which is the paddle tail, right? From Arsenal.
Right, but it's a really small paddle tail, right?
Oh, hold on. So Rich was just calling me a dummy for using paddle tails, and that's his go-to. Rich, I feel like you've been feeding us full of BS.
It's all about the size of the paddle tail, as you mentioned.
DEBO'S over there stirring the witch's brew.
I'm not stirring anything,
dance, buddy.
Rich wanted to fight me and said I was an idiot for using paddle tails. Now he's.
I think you accused me of being a troll with a burner account.
Created a secret account just to do that. Now
All right, so here's the two, right? So I would probably go down like there's the main size, like this is the 4.5-inch, and this is like the 3.5-inch. So I think like this 3.5-inch, or even their 3-inch, that would be a good bait on there. Or like if you throw the super fluke on the back of your chatterbait, use the regular fluke on the mini mag. Or honestly, I think a little straight. Even I bet you like those little the old school spinnerbait trailers, those little twin tail things.
I was just gonna say, why don't they include those anymore with the chatterbaits? They used to.
They used to. They used to include those round ones with the original.
And I want to say it was Z-Man because it was like super the plastic itself was like that Z-Man material.
Yeah.
Where it was hard to thread it on and you just hated your life until it touched something else and then it enveloped with
and I'll probably throw it on, if I normally my chatterbait on like 17 pound, I'm probably going to throw this mini on like 12, 14, probably going to downsize a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't thrown it yet, but that's kind of where my head's at.
Hello, your code's good on Dobbins stuff there too, right?
It works on Dobbins on Omnia, not at Dobbins site.
I think that's what he meant. Yeah, on the Omnia site. Yeah, it works on Dobbins on the Omnia site. Yes.
So the other thing, I've never got the Helicross, and I thought,
Hellabass.
There's always a running joke on other people's streams that like, oh, he's so famous, he's got his own Z-Man craw.
Yeah, did you design those? Were you the pro that they worked with?
Did not.
The Helicross?
I feel like I should send a cease and desist, but it's basically I don't know, kind of reminds me of like the Yum Crop Happy or a Rage Bug mix type thing.
Oh yeah,
almost like the Rage Chunk is kind of what it looks like.
I feel like I've gotten those, and that's one of those. Man, spring's getting close. I better go out and buy a bunch of lures, and they get thrown in the big box of plastics, and I haven't gone back to them yet.
I'm hoping to try these out as jig trailers, so I think they'll be good jig trailers.
Flying Bass Man, did you have a beginner bait question?
The great thing is they come with clamshells.
Randy's automatic.
Dude, I was kind of on your side for a minute there.
But at least they're only one-sided clamshells versus two-sided, so that's a plus. There's only half a clamshell in here. And then one other thing in here, I thought I needed to try the Spro Flapping Frog,
yes.
which I had not bought yet. So I grabbed one of these in black to try it out.
So one thing I'm going to say, I did unbox those, and I had a ton of people say to make sure you mend it or glue the weight on, because the soft plastic's so soft, the weight pops out.
Okay,
So
that
I thought
right
that was
there.
a good.
Add some super glue or silicone ahead of time.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. I'm totally not on your side anymore.
Why is that? Because I bought a
Have
frog?
you never heard of Mend It before?
No, I know what
Super glue?
Mend It is.
Come on,
I've got
man.
Mend It.
I had Mend It
You
before you were
mended
fishing,
it.
bro.
Yeah, we don't put Mend It on our toast like you do.
You got to mend
Do
it.
you like put Mend It on your toast or like?
Yeah, Randy's like,
Cheerios.
hey, do you like creamy
Cheerios.
or chunky peanut butter? Randy's like, mend it and jelly. Mend it
Tastes
on my
tastes like
spaghetti.
Vegemite.
I sprinkle
what else we
sesame
got?
seeds
Well,
in
thanks
there
for doing the
for
unboxing,
texture.
Hello. What's
Yeah,
your
that was
favorite
it.
out of those three? Which ones are you most excited to throw?
What am I most? I think I'm
Keith
most
Bruce,
excited
what
about the
frog is that?
Mini Max Chatterbait.
That's the Spro. What do they call it? The Splo.
Flapping Frog, isn't it? No.
Flapping. Yeah.
Didn't it come out kind of late last fall?
Yep. Yeah, I didn't get to use it. I got some just after that.
I think Gabe Tin Horse Monty's used it, and he gave it the Tin Horse Monty seal of approval, and he likes some frogs. So
Did he get Tin Horse?
I trust Gabe.
Talking to Tin Horse a little bit ago.
So yeah, I was going to kind of ask,
is there the email once again, Orlando? It's DEBO'Sfishing@gmail.com. I'll leave it up there for a little bit. Please.
I was going to ask, are there any new baits whatsoever that just came out, like over the winter, over the off season for us northern folk that y'all are really, really super excited to throw?
The two things that I grabbed recently,
I've got one here.
The mini D chunks based on DEBO'S recommendation.
Yes, they look great. I didn't get to catch anything on them, and it was like 30 degrees when I was throwing them. But
the two hard baits that came out are the
oh, let's see. Oh, Hella's got one with me. That's mine. That I want to.
Tiny OG4 and then the DT8.
Randy, I got extras for you, so you're covered, homie.
Nice. I'm not even gonna say what I want to throw. I'm not gonna do it. What time is it? It's like an hour and a half. We should probably get going out of here before everybody.
So what new jig are you excited about, Randy?
It's not a jig. It's a trailer, and DEBO'S gonna hate me for even saying this out loud.
I'm not gonna hate you. No, what is it, bro?
I honestly want to check out the Googan Nuke.
Oh my god!
It looks like it would be an awesome jig trailer if it's narrow enough. My issue is I feel.
It kind of looks like the Strike King Rage Punch Bug, doesn't it?
I'm kidding. What is it, Randy? I didn't even hear what you said.
It's the Googan Nuke. I just don't know how wide it's going to be.
Let's look.
My big thing is
tackle.
Probably not. Probably only on Carl's bait and tackle. That kind of
Carl's.
Use promo code DEBO. Loves making fun of Randy for his baitfish.com.
Dude, it's a running joke. People think we hate Googie. I don't hate Googie. I
use them, man.
It's a running joke. I always have people ask me after the lives, "Oh, do you actually hate Googan?" No, I don't have anything against Googans. It's just a joke. So
it looks really a lot like their
all right, so Googan baits.
What's the bug? Their bug bait, whatever that one is, without any of the smaller appendages. And a little bit narrower.
This one, the chunk?
No, the nuke.
No, they don't have. No,
like
it's not out on.
Bomb.
It's not there. Okay, so
not
you said it's on.
Go hit Carl's, I think.
You know, surprisingly, Taco Else does not have a huge selection of Googan baits.
I think they're very particular about who they want to deal with, like Dick's, Walmart, Carl's, maybe Shields around this area.
Search by brand. I've only
Googan Nuke. It's Googan Nuke Punch.
Googan Nuke.
Oh, is it Nuke Punch? I don't know. It looks interesting. I just don't know.
Am I still sharing?
When you search it actually shows pictures of the Strike King Rage Bug next to it.
Am I that far behind? Can you guys see what I'm showing or no?
I can see it. It's just Carl's. I only see the Google search result for Carl's.
Oh, it brought up a different screen. I'm sorry. It brought it up in a different deal. Hold on.
It's a good thing it wasn't that other screen.
It's
You got the backside of Tackle Warehouse.
he's like
Ooh.
NU, and Debo's like no, and he's yanking out cords because he doesn't want anything else to get shared. Never mind.
No, I can't see the screen. There we go.
Yep,
Oh, interesting. This is like the Strike King one that I just got. Okay, I will give them
the
this.
punch bug.
Googan has one of my favorite colors that I don't see anywhere else ever. Is this green pumpkin and purple? Somebody shared this, and I was like, oh, like a lot of times you'll see green pumpkin and like June bug, but this green pumpkin and purple is this Okeechobee?
Yeah,
crop?
I just don't know how wide that body is going to be, and I don't know. I'm primarily looking for like a jig trailer. Not that I want to replace my Rage or anything like that, but another option's always good.
Why do you want to replace the mini scrub?
Well, not replacing the mini scrub. I'm not replacing anything Strike King. Come on now. It's the Rage chunk trailer. Those are my go-to. I love them. I even go as far as like
from Strike King that look like this. I hadn't tried them before.
Called
but it's like
the punch bug.
Probably, yep.
Yeah.
It looks like a punching bait. I was thinking for like finesse jigs, but yeah, I was kind of the same as you, Randy. I don't know how big this.
How wide?
It's like the punch bug. It's got a pretty like good. It's almost like a ring fry body, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I grabbed some. Maybe they should be coming, but I think they're going to be
a little bit wider with those extra little phalange rings around it. But I don't know how like big that middle.
This green pumpkin purple. I kind of want to get some of these. Actually, that color is. If I could have one color, if that was like almost a blackish bluish on top with that purple bottom, that would be.
Randy will have to use Carl's membership to get you some.
Randy, can you get black and blue and the black and purple? Cut the black and blue in half. Put that on
quick.
Top of
Everybody, gang up on Debo. He loves Googie now. Go.
Oh, Randy, we love you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bust out the razor blade and the big magnifying glass thing and the extra power lights and cut them perfectly.
Dude, we could do a live of that. We could do a live Randy doing.
And then you can mend it back together.
Yeah, and mend it together. We could get Mendit on the stream that night and talk about all the uses of Mendit, and you could do that in the background. Dude, let's do it. Does anybody have a good Mendit hookup that we can get Mendit on a live? Like Scott, somebody was asking. Randy,
why don't you just get the laminate injector and make your own green pumpkin purple?
I mean, I could do that, but that would defeat the whole purpose of using Mendit. Steve,
no, but I meant for like with your obsession with green pumpkin purple, you should just start using your do it molds and injecting your own.
Oh, I could, yeah, for sure. But I mean, it'd be more fun.
And then it's only you that you would have to. Then it would be only you that you could complain to about it being not salty enough and ripping apart and stuff.
Yeah, I did go out. Okay, so to Randall's point, I did go out and I made a bunch of stick baits and threw them on a weightless hook and threw it out. I'm like, why the hell is this thing not sinking? I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Then I remembered, oh yeah, I didn't add any salt or sinking agent to the plastic. And I felt like an idiot, but it was okay because I throw a weighted wacky rig a lot. And once I put the weighted wacky rig on,
you also made a great shaky head worm.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because it stands up and does a little.
That was so funny. You're like, oh, look at all these lures. They're amazing. They're awesome. I'm gonna throw this one weightless. I'm so excited. And he throws it in there, and it's just like on the surface.
It's like a floating worm. It's like the methylate floating worm. You twitch it.
Worm.
Yeah. So today I was watching Bass Live, listening, and Ronnie Moore called me out on Bass Live for fantasy today.
Really? How come?
Because he has the Beat Ronnie Moore fantasy fishing group, and then I have the Beat Hellabass group, and he said he's accusing me of plagiarizing his idea.
Oh my!
He did that on live in front of how many people today? So
wow.
For the record, I am ahead of him in fantasy fishing as of today.
Did he have 300 and some people on his live?
No, I was on the Bassmaster.com live. Like,
oh my Lord, dang. Well, that's good notoriety for you. Maybe a bunch of people joined it.
So it's a friendly rivalry between Ronnie and myself.
Do you actually know him or no?
All in good fun. Yeah, I mean, I've had him on the stream, and we
so
both write fantasy. Have wrote fantasy articles in the past for Bassmaster and things like that.
Okay, I think he was actually like pissed at you calling you out type thing.
No, It was more of a good fun ribbing, kind of like this whole, this thing here.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, hey, Debo, have I gotten my speed spools yet?
No, I was going to say, Steve had that up there. I have not sent the thing over. I did get the deal from Lil Tommy. He sent me an email. I just need to send it over to Scott. I think he's at an expo this weekend. So I was going to send it next week. But yeah, we'll do that. And once I get the new speed spool, whatever the XCRs are, the new quiet ones, I will do an unboxing and putting those in, and we'll kind of test them out. Go out and do some casting.
I'll come down and we'll do can a dummy put in new spools or not? And then
yeah, we can go out in my garage. You can do yours
with a big hammer, and I'm just like, they don't fit, Debo. What's wrong?
This don't work. All right, what else do you all got? So we've got an hour 35. Let's do a couple more questions and get out of here. I know these guys have stuff to do. I thank them for joining me. Rich, Randall, where can we find you guys? Randall, you have the biggest following without ever making a video on YouTube. Are you at 1,000 subs yet?
Come on, man. No. It's 100 and some. I don't know how many it is.
Dizzle's Fishing. Go follow him on YouTube. We're going to try to get him to 1,000 without doing a single video. Rich, where can we find you? Rich Hellabass.
Yeah, just Hellabass anywhere. I guess mainly YouTube, but if you're Instagram or any other platform, I'm there. Actually, you might be interested in this. So next Wednesday, tentatively, I've got Tacklecraft scheduled to come on my live stream, and he's a big lure painter. So,
TK!
Yeah,
wow, yeah,
TK. So, and just a super. He does a lot of Instagram lives. He's actually dabbling in YouTube now, like simulcasting. But like, his stuff is like,
next
amazing.
Level. I consider my stuff pretty good. I've been doing it for a few years, but yeah, his stuff is next level. Yeah. Very, very good.
I have some here of his. Oh, here's one. He did I'm a big parrot, like chartreuse blue, and he did a ghost chartreuse. We got to take it out of here. It doesn't do it justice.
So Steve, while Hellabass is getting that out, he said you guys need to do a video on it. Steve, we will once we get those bearings. Maybe I'll have Randy down. We'll do a garage video. Him and I. Yeah, look at that.
So that's a ghost.
Beautiful work.
Kind of parrot.
It really just kind of blends into almost nothing on the very bottom, huh?
He excels at like really, really clean stuff. Even if it's only a few colors, his stuff, like his paints are immaculate. Like there's not a blemish on them.
He does a bunch of stuff for like bukas, bull shads, and all kinds of stuff. He does a lot of people's like high-end swim baits. They send him like their $100, $200 swim baits. Then he paints them and makes them.
Yeah, that happens a lot to me too. Buka hit me up, and I had people offering to paint $500. And I said, "Listen, hey, I've got too much other stuff going on. I can't do this." I had to turn down Buka and all these. Oh, that's a joke. No, he does really, really good painting.
So that should be Wednesday night, 8 p.m.
Cool.
Should be a good one. And he's just a cool dude. Like if you ever watched his live, he's just like the kind of guy.
I've never actually seen him do a live. Funny enough,
he mostly does Instagram live. But
yeah, that's strange. I follow him on Instagram. I've never seen him.
A lot of them are during the day, so that might be why. He does a lot of like lunchtime. Although he's been doing some like second shift, like 9, 10, 11 p.m. stuff lately.
Yeah, I'm asleep by like 9:30. I'm old. I go watch Shoe Shining. Shout out to Angelo ASMR for Shoe Shining. I love that to go to sleep too. It's amazing if anybody needs help sleeping.
I just gotta say,
yeah. Wes Hawk says Debo doesn't care about pro football. I can't. I love NBA. I like watching college football, dude. I've tried so many times to get into pro NFL. I just can't. I can't.
I figured out last weekend who was. Well, first of all, the Super Bowl was this Sunday, and who was actually playing in it. Just saying.
Proud of you, Randall. All right, what do we got? Let's do 2 more questions, and then we're out of here. We've still got almost 300 people on here. I can't believe it. 3 guys talking about baits and such. I love y'all. This is fun. I never ever. So I've said it before. Like I think in December I did like 2, maybe 3 videos. I was in a rut, with family stuff going on and personal stuff. It is sometimes hard to get in front of a camera and do like a whole production of one of those. I never, ever don't look forward to a live because it's always just like real talk, answering questions, hanging out.
Yeah. Like
Alley
2 times in the last, so I was in Mexico, 3 weeks ago. And then last week I was in California working and I was like going through with Jaws, not doing my weekly live show.
Yeah, man, they're fun. Alley Cat, I feel like we need to have you on that Mendit show. Alley Cat, Randall, Mendit. She's saying they could mend the Titanic with that damn stuff.
Easily.
Chris Russ says Burrow grew up in Ames, Iowa.
Oh, really? Chris Burrow did? That's interesting.
Joe Burrow.
Or Joe Burrow. There we go. Did he go to Ames? I meant, Joe, not Chris.
I don't think he's he didn't go to Iowa
State. I don't know. I don't know anything about him.
So.
I've never heard of the guy.
No, Joe Burrow was LSU, I think.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Trevor, okay, I'm going to tote my own website here for a little bit. When are you selling more baits, Debo? I've got a couple swim baits. I've got some crankbaits. I need to get my butt in gear. I do have a website, DEBO'S Fishing. I have 0 stuff on there because of good folks like you. They've sold out within the first few weeks of me putting stuff on there. So I'm going to do another huge drop here, but life has kind of got to me, so I haven't done much. But huge drop.
Huge.
So that's enough of my shameful.
Real quick,
plugs.
I just want to say, Debo, thank you for your PB crappie. It was delicious.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, so Randall, I had 3 keepers that I cleaned the other night. That video will actually launch Monday or Tuesday. I just got done. Cook? It's not a catch and cook.
Catch and clean.
I need to do a catch and cook because I do like eating and stuff. But no, I didn't do all the cooking and cleaning and stuff, but I caught my PB crappie, 14-inch crappie, which is a mondo for me. I'm sure people have caught more, but giant.
And then I gave Debo such a hard time about not inviting me to go fishing one day and then bailing on me the next day to not go fishing, that I just drove down the next day and we hung out for a little bit. And as a consolation prize.
Awesome. Yeah. You got to see
consolation prize. I got some. Oh, yeah.
We just sat out in the garage and BS'd for an hour. It was awesome. But yeah, gave him some stuff. So Randall, I'm glad you liked it. I do like fresh fish.
Oh yeah, definitely. I do have to say, for those people that cook fish, you guys can answer down below all you want. Good question.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up, Randy.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, doing like a deep fry fish, or like I did and Debo's done in the past, like an air fryer fish, there's 2 types of breading that you can use. More of that grittier kind of.
There's 3. So there's also those mixes, like the wet mixes.
I've never really done those. So I know of the cornmeal. Yeah, not like a shake and bake and Debo helped, but there's like the cornmeal version, and then there's more like a panko breadcrumb, or like a crispier, kind of crunchier breadcrumb, I think. What's the go-to? Personally, I found out that I'm not a big cornmeal fan because it just doesn't get that same crunch.
I like a panko, like a bigger thing that you fry to it to make it like kind of a lighter crispy.
I even saw the cornflakes one that you used, and I didn't.
I used cornflakes. Yeah, and that's even kind of thick. Like my dad has some panko mixture that he does, and it tasted way better than my cornflake deal. So if you guys have something that's like an absolute go-to, I'll pick some up, and next time Dad didn't text me. I thought we were going to try to go out tomorrow. So I kind of effed up because I thought we were going out tomorrow at 6 a.m. I was going to meet him. And he called me today at 6 and 6:30, and I was still asleep till like 8 o'clock. And he's like, where are you at?
Typical.
And it was today, actually. I could have swore he said Sunday, and it wasn't. So he's like, you're a bum. Why aren't you out here? So I'm probably going to go out later tomorrow. I'll probably go out for a night fishing deal since I have nothing ready. And it's, 9:15? Randall, maybe I can head up your way somewhere. We can hit like an evening deal.
I think Nebraska is a pretty long trip. If you want to stop and grab my stuff on the way out, that'd be awesome.
Anyway, okay.
Yeah, no, do that. Just come. Yeah, come on.
If you guys and gals have recommendations for a good breading, let me know. If there's something special, I'll do it. So Fish Daddy said, what are your top 3 boat snacks? I'll go. I think beef jerky's overrated unless it's the really soft stuff. Yep, I'll stand on that hill. I think granola bars, because they're in a package and they provide a lot of sustenance in one little package. I like trail mix. Again, same thing. You can open it and keep snacking out of it. Number 3, biscuits and gravy. Just because you can't get enough biscuits and gravy.
Because it's super easy to eat when you're fishing. It's very practical.
Very practical.
Yeah, totally. He's got one of those trays that go around his neck. It's got like a little fishing tray right here, and just kind of.
There's my 3. What do you guys got? 3 boat snacks.
Almonds, jerky,
Close
but
to
like
trail mix.
decent jerky, like not Jack Links, but like something a little better than Jack Links, and then like a Cliff Bar, granola bar.
Okay.
So really,
I mean,
it's very similar.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Debo, I do actually agree with you. Like a softer jerky, nothing that's like, oh my God, this is terrible. I have to soak it in liquid before I even try to eat it.
Yeah, there's like Randy, when you and I went to Shields that one day and we got that turkey jerky that was like, it was fresh smoked turkey jerky that Shields sells. Oh my God, that stuff was. I ate that whole bag on the trip to the place we were fishing.
In the 3.5 minute drive, Debo housed a half-pound bag of jerky.
Dude, it was insane.
No joke.
You didn't even have yours open.
No.
It was amazing, dude. Yeah,
like I had been chewing on one piece, but yeah. God, what are those one bars that I don't know what they are? It's a granola bar. They have like peanut butter, stuff like that also. And then outside of that, yeah, I think so. I don't want, anything else that I want is not like conducive for fishing while I have it. So I'm just going with those two. I'm not going with the third.
Okay. I'm fine with that. And on the same line,
actually, wait, hold on. I'm going with Red Bull that sat in my truck, a sugar-free Red Bull that sat in my truck from the morning until like noon when we finally go back and move spots. And my entire truck smells like sugar-free Red Bull. So that's my number 3.
You do love sugar-free Red Bulls. You always come equipped with like 4 of them.
Always.
But to a nice 87-degree warm temperature from sitting in the front.
Oh God,
slightly
it's so
flattened
terrible.
out.
But I have to drink it because they're like $87 a can. So it's my cross. I guess I'll die on it.
Damn, we had another question about baits here, and I can't find it. Check out Cole and Jay. They try all kinds of mixes. I've never heard of Cole and Jay.
Cole and Jay, I think they're like in Arkansas or Missouri. Husband and wife. 6 cents. They got some cool content.
Cool. I've not heard of them. Somebody else said mixed flour and instant potato egg wash, then coat the mix. Interesting. Ooh. Never heard of that. Somebody said cracker meal. Oh, that was Eliza. Cracker meal. I did do crackers a lot. I actually like to do my morels. Randy, we should do a video of you and I going out and morel hunting and doing a morel
ticks off of each other, or
yeah, that'll be included too.
It's the tickiest time of year, man.
I want to check you for ticks.
I mean, I'm down. I love morels. They're dope.
Dude, morels are so good.
There
was a question about baits. I don't know where it went. That's going to be the last question. We're getting out of here. I can't believe we're almost already at 2 hours. Good Lord. Bayou Burner says Debo doesn't watch YouTube. I don't. I don't watch hella bass videos. I don't watch all the people I love. Very rarely do I get on. It's not because I don't love people. It's just time thing.
Yeah, I know he doesn't, because all the things I say about him in the videos, he would have said something by now.
I tried.
I'm sorry, dude. I feel like a complete prick.
I actually just download Debo's videos and publish them as mine. He doesn't even have any idea that that's what I do.
That's fine. That's fine, Hella. I'm fine with it.
You like Photoshop like a non-talking picture of your face over his.
Okay, one more question. We're getting out of here. Somebody asked a question about baits. I can't find it. We've still got 250 people in here. We'll do one more question and then getting out of here. I don't. Oh, somebody said don't sleep on crushed Cheez-Its. Dude, I love Cheez-Its.
Oh, yeah. Or like a fire Cheeto or something like that could be pretty good.
Yeah, I think
if you want to go crazy.
If you want to do air fryer fish, right? I think if you use
that's what I do.
I think if you use, because I saw some other recipes, not fish related, they use the fatty version because there's so much oil in there. Then it's almost like deep frying. If you crush up Cheetos or Doritos or chips, right, and you coat your protein in that, when you air fry it, it basically uses the oil that's already in the chips.
Gotcha.
Sounds hideous, says Eliza. All right, let's see. Do we have one more? Do we have anything? Okay, I don't even know. I don't know. We're at almost an hour, 2 hours. Do we have one more bait question? Anything else you guys want to add? Questions, comments, rebuttals? I don't see anything coming in. Walleyes.
I can tell you that watching the Elite Series today really makes me want to go fishing now.
Yeah, that stuff just pisses me off. I've seen the video of Randy catching the 10-pound bass and then the 12-pound on the MLF thing. Dude, that just makes me so mad because I'm like, how are these guys out fishing when I'm still completely frozen over? But he seems like a good guy. I'd like to get a pro on sometime. I've never had an MLF or a BASS pro on. I don't do pro fishing. I don't really fish out of the pro boats, but I think it'd be interesting to get their perspective.
I got a fair amount. I've had quite a few of mine. I could
You
put
have,
in
yeah. I was
touch
going to
with
say,
somebody.
actually, if you all want to see that, check out his channel. I know Gabe has 10 Horse Monty too. But it'd be interesting to kind of pick their brain on like bank fishing stuff too, and kind of getting a different like look at some of the stuff. But I don't know. Actually, you're the biggest pro I've had on. You've gone to the opens and all the things, and I don't do any of the
My goal next year is to goat Debo. I had an idea. I thought I was going to fish all the BFLs, and I was going to get you to go to the Prairie du Chien one. And,
oh God, I'd be down. I've never fished Prairie du Chien.
And I was like, I'll have
Debo
meet me
Prairie
there.
du Chien. That was my second fight ever. Was Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, at the hockey rink.
I was like, I could go and I could go Debo into signing up as a co-angler, and we could practice together.
That'd be sick. But you wouldn't want me fishing actual fishing with you because I'd just F it up. Is that what you're saying?
We're just gonna go frog fishing all day, bro.
Debo's just bringing all the bananas.
All right, working out of here, everybody. Thank you so much. Yeah, Matt Orloff said Hella and Seth Fighter was money. Yeah, Hella's had some awesome pros on. Make sure you go check out Hella Bass. Rich is a good dude. Rich, I always thank you for supporting the channel, being a good dude. Go check out Dizzle. Dizzle's fishing. We're gonna try to get him to 1,000 subs without doing.
I'm gonna go sub to Dizzle right now.
Go sub to Dizzle. That's it.
We're gonna have to hurry because I'm getting one up soon.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. We're getting you to 1,000 first. Everybody,
Thanks
love you all. Thank you
confidence.
so much for watching. We are getting out of here. And until next time.